Hello, and welcome back for more Beyond Earth news. I'm Zach, and with me as always is David. What are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to talk about SpaceX's recent successful Starship Integrated Flight Test 4. This was another flight and re-entry test for both Starship as well as the Super Heavy booster.
Spoiler, I watched the launch and it was amazing. So let's get into it.
Let's. The morning of June 6th saw Starship and its Super Heavy booster stacked for the launch at SpaceX's Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas. The goal for IFT-4 was to have the Super Heavy complete a simulated landing above the waters of the Gulf of Mexico and have Starship survive re-entry and peak heating. Liftoff occurred at 7:50 a.m. Central Time. The massive rocket lifted into the sky with all but one of the 33 engines igniting. The flight went through the major milestones of a rocket launch without issue, reaching max Q, or the moment of maximum dynamic pressure, and main engine cutoff, or MECO. At 2 minutes 44 seconds into launch, Starship and Super Heavy separated, with Starship continuing on its suborbital trajectory, while Super Heavy maneuvered to make its way back to attempt its soft landing. That simulated landing was successfully conducted at 7 minutes 4 seconds after liftoff.
As for Starship, it then spent roughly 40 minutes on its suborbital trajectory. During this time, the cameras did cut out during the live stream, but these views did return towards the end with some spectacular views of the spacecraft, Earth, and space. At 47 minutes 25 seconds, Starship began its re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. As the live stream from the ship's exterior continued, a glow began to appear. This glow was a blanket of plasma caused by the friction between the extremely fast spacecraft and the atmosphere. This blanket of plasma grew larger and more intense as descent continued, all the while SpaceX was able to continue to provide a live feed. At one point, a flap shown in one of the camera feeds suffers a burn-through, with chunks of the flap breaking away. The camera lens becomes covered in debris and eventually cracks, limiting what can be seen. Despite the damage to the flap, Starship was still able to flip and commence its landing burn as it neared the surface of the Indian Ocean, completing a soft splashdown.
With the successful splashdown of both Starship as well as the Super Heavy booster, SpaceX's IFT-4 was able to successfully complete both of its goals that it set out to accomplish. It also appears that SpaceX were aware that the flaps might prove to be a failure point, with Elon Musk describing the hinges as having the potential for hot gases to flow through them, which could cause damage.
Additionally, the FAA has agreed to exceptions to this test flight that wouldn't result in an investigation. The previous 3 test flights resulted in investigations, which slowed down SpaceX's ability to rapidly redesign and test future flights. It would appear that this flight went well enough that the FAA will allow SpaceX to continue with its rapid pace.
We've gone over the launch, the flight, and the immediate results of IFT-4. Zach, what are your thoughts on the flight as well as Starship in general?
Well, first off, the live stream was absolutely amazing. At one point, I was out of my seat. I watched it with my 2-year-old, who enjoyed the liftoff at least for about 30 seconds before he was ready to do something else. But overall, the launch, the re-entries, the landings for both Super Heavy and Starship were just amazing to watch, stunning. The plasma blanket in particular, and even the burn through was amazing to see happen. As far as Starship, I do think we need to see a bit more of a rapid turnaround on the tests, and I think with the exceptions the FAA has given for this flight, I think we'll see that start happening. And we need these Starship tests to go faster because they are providing the lander for Artemis 3, which is in 2026. So we've got about 2 years for SpaceX to get this done and be ready to land humans on the moon. Those are my thoughts, but let's hear from you. What have you got to say?
Yeah, good points about making it back to the moon. They definitely have a bit of a time crunch on that. The most encouraging thing to me is that they had so much success in the face of adversity with the hinge
Mm.
and the flap burning through there. But they were still able to have soft, successful landings, not just with Starship, but also the Super Heavy. And I think that shows that maybe they've turned a corner,
Yep.
and maybe we'll start seeing some things get more rapid, as you mentioned. Those are my thoughts, but I'd love to hear from you viewers. Please leave a comment down below.
All right, you know the drill. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe for more Beyond Earth news.
Thanks for watching.